Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna talk about the second episode of the second season of Maîtresse and I, marié. But before we get into it, I really hope that everyone is fine with the coronavirus out there. I hope everyone is able to make way and work from home, or at least participate in some social distancing. And I hope that nobody's out there trying to get all the toilet paper and things of their neighbor. And yeah, so what have you guys been doing while self-quarantining? So I've been mostly working from home, cleaning, reading, and trying to look for ways to make more videos, and this is one of them. And yeah, I have one question, because as you can see, I'm wearing my fro, and I was thinking of dyeing my hair again. So I have a question for you. What color should I go for? Should I go for red or should I go for brown? And this is actually dark brown, but this is the dye that I actually used a couple years ago. And this is what it got. But it was in Senegal, so the sun might be the reason it got really light. But yeah, let me know what color you think I should be doing. I'll also post the poll on Instagram, so make sure you follow me at Senegalese Twisted. And now we're just gonna talk about Maîtresse and I, marié. So the first scene I want to talk about is the scene where you see Lala on a cliff, and she's actually crying, and you hear the voice of Sheikh, because in the last episode the cliffhanger was that Lala asked for a divorce. And while she's on the cliff, you hear Sheikh's voice, and he's actually telling her that we'll talk about it, the divorce, when you have given birth. And I think that Sheikh does not really take Lala's threat or question for divorce, request for divorce seriously. And this is one thing that I really hate about Senegal, is that women actually have to ask for a divorce, and it's not automatically granted. Like, it's not like you can ask for divorce papers and serve your husband with them. It's more like may masamabat, which means give me my divorce. But yeah, I don't know, like I feel like Sheikh is not gonna make it easy on Lala to divorce him. But then again, it's also not like he is acting like a husband, because we all saw in the first episode that he was not interested in knowing the sex of their second child. So the second scene is the lawyer's husband, and you actually see him cut salad. And I was like, why is he cutting salad? But his sister comes in, and she's actually complaining like, well, why do we eat salad with a little bit of sauce? We should be eating a big piece of meat with some nice gravy, juice. And she's just pointing out that he's the man of the house, and that he should not be afraid of his wife, because he knows what she's like, and that he is someone that gives money so that people can eat well, but this is what they get. And she's actually really complaining, and I know that she's up to something, but I want to know what, and we'll see. So the next scene, we actually see Lala, and I actually thought she was dead, but she's not dead. She's getting treatment, and her mother was really crying hard. And I think this is like them accepting the fact that she's really sick and she will never probably recover. And then the next scene is Biram, who did not eat breakfast, and his mom is actually talking with him, and he actually asks his mom like, why didn't you see Jalika, you know she's sick. And until now you still haven't seen her, and his mom is actually making the excuse that even if she goes there, people will talk about her and see it differently, like she's visiting Jalika just to see what's up, like the newest gossip, and to gloat on how bad it's going with Jalika. And I don't think that Biram actually understood this, and I'm not saying he should understand it, because I don't think it's an excuse, because sooner or later Jalika's gonna die, and then she will never have the chance to actually visit her. She's her niece and her ex daughter-in-law, so I think it's really complicated also. But yeah, so at the end Biram actually told his own mom that he wants to bring the kids to her because he wants their grandmother, which is Jalika's mom, to have more rest. And then Biram's mom was like, why would you want their grandmother to have rest? I'm not gonna take care of nobody's children. Don't even think about it. So I thought that was like showing, for me it was showing that Biram has actually grown, and he now values Jalika and her family more. And I think that he wants to translate this to his own mom, but his mom does not even want to have it, because she said that she's not gonna take care of his children, she's not gonna watch them. And yeah, she was basically also saying that their grandmother does not need any rest. But I think that he pities Jalika's mom, because Jalika's mom is not only taking care of their children but also of Jalika, who's really sick. So the next scene was Mustafa being interviewed by Momo, who's actually from Pot et Marichou, and it was really nice to see the crossover. But Momo asked him, like, you have a sad story, and what would you advise to someone who's in a similar position as you, how to survive, or you know, how to make it? And Mustafa actually answered that it was mostly faith, and to have faith in yourself, and also believe in, I would say, God, and whatever is yours will be yours, and just believe in yourself. And then you had a girl that was totally fangirling all over Mustafa, even calling him her crush. And at the end of that scene, you see Mustafa actually being sad, and his manager or producer was actually pointing out to him that he was actually sad and he was not really focused on the interview. And he explained to her that the background song that was playing during the interview was a song that he actually wrote for Rocky, and that in response the manager producer was like, well, you have to make a decision or a distinction between your emotions and business. And I thought that was so weird. So the next scene is Mère Jiying actually visiting Cher, and I think this is their new house. And well, she's actually telling Cher that, you know what, if it's not Biram, it's you that has problems, and I don't know what's wrong with you. Since Noura is actually a big girl, we've been all praying for her to get another sibling, and now that Lala is actually about to pop, you don't seem to be in it. You don't seem to be happy. You don't even recognize or acknowledge Lala. And that was her problem that she took to Cher. And she's also pointing out that Cher does not even seem slightly interested in the fact that Lala is about to give a child, and that child has been prayed for, and that he should be happy. And his response is more that, you know what, I'm not the one that changed, Lala is the one that changed. And that's so crazy to me, because of course that's what he thinks, and I think that he does know that he's the one that changed, but of course, to save face in the family, he's gonna turn the tables and put it all on Lala. But yeah, I think it's crazy. I think that also Marié is actually Team Lala because she really supported Lala in this conversation, and she was telling him that, you know what, if I was in her position, I would also ask for a divorce and I would not stay any longer. And I think that she just told him that, you know what, if you're not going to take care of your wife and children, unborn child, you should let her go, but you cannot put all this pain and strain on her and keep her in a marriage that actually both of you don't even want. So then you have the scene where Mustafa meets, well, not meets, but he bumps into Rocky's mom, and Rocky's mom is actually really mad slash sad because she feels like Mustafa left, or, you know, really abandoned Rocky, and he should not forget that Rocky is the only reason as to why he has this fame right now, and that he is now able to pursue his music. And when I saw this scene, I have to be honest with you guys, I thought that Rocky was the one that was in prison. So now I don't understand what actually happened. So the next scene is Sheikh talking to his publicists or his people, and he's actually complaining as to why he's being trolled on the internet, why people are insulting him, insulting his wife, and the only person that actually tells him the truth is Biram, because Biram calls Madame Porno, and he points out that whole Senegal, or whole the world, has seen her ass, and that he should divorce her, that he should let her go so that he can maintain his position, and if not, that he should step down. But I think that Sheikh has in mind that Biram still wants to be the head of the company, so that he's only proposing that so that he can take the lead of the company. But I don't think that that's what Biram wants. I think that Biram does have a point, but I think it's really crazy because I could not imagine a Senegalese man being married to a woman with a sex tape out there and him still holding on to that marriage. I do not believe in that. I mean, there is a God, but that don't exist. So the next scene is Mustafa making a phone call, and I think the phone call is to his manager slash producer, and he's telling her that he made a choice between his emotions and business, but he also tells the story of, you know what, everything I have is because of Rocky, and Rocky is the one that actually made me feel a lot of emotions, and if I don't talk, or I don't not mess, but deal with these emotions, I am not going to make it in this world. And I thought that he just made the decision to choose for his emotions rather than the business, but I don't know. Of course, you also see the scene where Rocky is actually washing her hands and there's a lot of blood. Next is Sheikh seeing Marem, and I really thought that he was gonna fall from the building and die, but that would be too soon because we're only on episode 2 of the 2nd season. So the lawyer woman, I really don't know her name, she's meeting up with her friend, and she's asking her friend, like, why can't you just come in simple attire? because she looked really stylish, really pretty, and her friend was like, why should I? And then all of a sudden she looks behind her and she's like, oh my god, this is my crush, and it was love at first sight. Do I look good? And her lawyer friend is like, well, if this is all for a man, why don't you just simplify and just approach him yourself and talk to him? And she was like, are you crazy? With my hijab, I would not want him to think that I'm easy. And then she uses the Senegalese expression, which is gor de dohan jigin, which literally means, like, the baseline is that it's a man that's supposed to be chasing the woman. And I think that she just does not want to be the one that's doing the chasing, and also not wants to make it easy for the man to have her, which I can understand. So the next scene was really sad because it's Amsa calling Mahem again, and she's actually saying that, you know, I don't know how many times I've called you without answering and how many unanswered and unread texts you have, but I want you to know that I will keep on calling you until you pick up and until you're ready to talk with me or with us again. And yeah, I thought it was really sad. And yeah, I don't know. Amsa was really... she really touched my heart. And again, it just shows to how close Marem and Amsa actually are, and how best friend goals they are. And she actually told Marem in the voicemail that you know, I would give my life for you and you are all I have. And yeah, I really want to know why Marem is not able to pick up the phone. And it actually made me think, because later we see that Raki's not in jail. So it made me think, maybe Marem is the one that's in jail, and maybe she's in jail for other reasons than the murder of Mr. Sanya. But I was thinking, what if she's in jail because of the naked footage that she has out there? So then the lawyer comes home and she sees her sister-in-law, and the sister-in-law is in a mood because you can already feel that she's so annoyed by the presence of the lawyer. And they talk about it. Well, they don't talk about it, but they just talk. And she's like, hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm good. You see me here chilling, you know, and when is dinner ready? And she's actually asking like, well, I hope we don't eat lettuce with some thin juice or sauce. I really expect to have a big piece of meat with some juicy gravy or sauce. And yeah, that was her demand. And the lawyer was like, yeah, well, I'm gonna make sure that's gonna be prepared for you. And then the sister-in-law just talks to herself, and you can already see that she's really mad. And I think that she's gonna play the in-law that is stirring up shit, because when she was alone with her brother, she already told him that, you know what, you're the head of the family. You should take charge of your household. You should make sure that there's good food on the table, that you don't cut your lettuce. And she's gonna stir up some stuff. Okay, so the last scene and the cliffhanger is you see Raki actually preparing some clothing, and it's for Mustafa, and she's proposing to him that, you know, we haven't seen my mom in a while. I think it would be really good for us to visit her. And you see that there is something that's holding Mustafa back. So I would say the thing that happened after the cliffhanger of last season, something happened. and he does not show interest as a husband, I would say, to see her mom. And he's actually literally saying to Rocky that well, you know what, before you make plans, you have to make sure that I don't have any plans myself. So I would assume that he's saying that, you know, before making plans with your mom, you should have talked to me about it, but also not already make plans without knowing whether I was available or not. And he's telling her that, you know what, I'm not your employee, I'm your husband. And then he tells her that, you know what, I have other plans. And then he just leaves. And then she's left in the room with the clothing that she folded so neatly, and then she just throws it. And that's the cliffhanger, because now we know that Rocky's not the one that's in prison. So just think about it. What if Marem is the person that went to prison, and that, well, I don't know, why would she be in prison though? Because she was already at the airport. But you know, anything can happen. And that was it for the review. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely go to Senegalese for my blog posts. Follow me on Instagram. Be on the lookout for my poll, because I don't know whether I should go for red or for brown, but I want you guys to decide. I will make sure that I'm gonna make a video of it and share it with you guys. Also, if you have any questions, I hope you guys know where to find the description bar. Yeah, that was it for this video. I really have a lot of hair. I don't know what to do with it. See you guys in my next video.